Hello everyone. It's my dog. I don't know if you guys can see her. My dog Sasha and I. But today I am talking about OCD, and I'm talking about the types of compulsions. I got it from this book called Getting Over OCD, a 10-step workout book for taking back your life. And this is by Jonathan S. Abramowitz. I don't know. He has a PhD. But this book mainly talks about to understand your obsessions, compulsions, and rituals, develop a customized action plan, take gradual steps to safely confront and master the situations you avoid, find relief from intrusive thoughts no matter how distressing, overcome compulsive urges, reduce anxiety, and improve your relationships. That was a lot of words. And that's a pretty high claim. Okay, so for those who don't have OCD or don't know what OCD is, I'm going to try to be really brief about this. OCD is an anxiety disorder that affects the way we think, perceive, or process things, and it's hard to explain. We get thoughts that are called obsessions that constantly we play in our mind, and the compulsions are the things that we do, the action steps we take to reduce the anxiety coming from the obsessions. Now I'm going to talk about compulsions, okay, compulsive rituals. What they have listed here under number 1 is checking. Irresistible urges to check and recheck more than just once or twice. That the doors, water faucets, windows, and appliances are locked, off, or unplugged. Something isn't lost or missing, for example, your wallet. You didn't make a terrible mistake. Loved ones are safe. Disaster didn't happen. You didn't cause a negative event or disaster. I struggle with this, especially during school. I'll put my phone in my bag. Like I could just here's my phone right here. I could just be like, whoop, I'll put it in my bag. Walk into second period. Did I put my phone in my bag? Am I sure my phone is not sitting on the table for someone to steal? And then sometimes I literally stop in the middle of the hallway to check to make sure I have my phone in my bag. Like, it's like it. Or even sometimes before I leave, it'll be in my bag, and I'll be like, am I sure I have it in my bag? Also, when I leave to go to school, like, am I sure I didn't lock the door? Or am I sure I locked the door so no one, comes in and steals my dog or hurts anyone in my household? And then I check, like when I have thoughts, sometimes I'll check to make sure my dog is safe. Hey, calm down. I'll check to make sure that like my dog is safe, or if I have a thought about my parents, like something bad happening to them, I'll check to make sure they're safe. I'll check the stove after I'm done cooking something, because I'll have thoughts of there being like a fire and just terrible things. So yeah, that one applies to me in more ways than I could probably even think of right now. Number 2, they have more, I'm sorry. Asking others for reassurance, counting while checking. I count while I check. I have a certain pattern when I lock the door. It's like 1, 2, 3. And I do that like 3 times. And counting while checking, asking others for reassurance. I'm pretty sure I do that. And they're like, Janae, you just asked me that question. Okay. Number 2, decontamination. Excessive washing or cleaning that might be according to certain rules involving hand washing, showering, bathing, grooming, or toothbrushing, special toilet routines, for example, when wiping, changing clothes, cleaning inanimate objects, the mail, items for store, laundry, using hand gels or other hand sanitizers, other means of preventing or removing contamination, for example, using gloves, counting while washing or cleaning. I used to struggle with that one somewhat. Sasha, get down. When, sorry about that, when I was more like younger, and I'll talk about that in another video. But number 3, repeating, performing the following types of actions repetitively. Routine activities such as going through a doorway, going up or down the steps, turning light switches on and off, getting up from a chair, and so on. Yeah, I know the feeling. Rereading and or retyping. If I'm sitting here reading this book, any book, and I have an intrusive thought, I have to start the sentence or the paragraph all over again. So annoying. Touching or tapping, counting while repeating these pointless behaviors until I want the thoughts to just go away, repeating these behaviors to prevent disastrous consequences, for example, bad luck or death, ordering and arranging items in a certain order, for example, closed books, counting to an even number to neutralize an odd number, trying to achieve balance, for example, left and right, other ways of making things seem just right. And here's some common compulsive rituals that follow these categories. For checking, going back to the door, window, or stove to make sure it is locked or off. Checking the news to make sure there are no accidents that you could have caused. Reopening envelopes to make sure you paid the bills correctly. Decontamination, ritualistically washing hands, taking a shower after every time you urinate, or whatever. Washing off store-bought groceries before they enter the house. Repeating routine actions, rewriting vague checks so that the handwriting is perfect. Flicking a light switch off and on several times. Going back and forth through a doorway several times. Ordering and arranging clothes in your closet a certain way. Brushing the left side of your body up against the wall because you have touched the wall with your right side. That's that. And then here discussed in this book, many rituals. In contrast to compulsions, which are often drawn out, many rituals are brief and can be very subtle and discreet. In fact, you might not even recognize them as part of your problems with OCD. For example, when Jerry was driving with his family, he would experience obsessions about killing everyone by steering the car into a tree. To counteract his obsessions, he used a mini ritual in which he gripped the steering wheel more tightly to make sure he didn't lose control of the car. Alright, so that's that. And then there's something called mental rituals. Mental rituals I do a lot of, especially when I'm like in bed and I have the thoughts, because a lot of my OCD tends to get to me at nighttime. So mental rituals are basically like things that you can do in your head, like counting, replacing a bad thought with a good thought, saying like a thing like over and over and over again. Like if you made a mistake, you could say like they don't remember. Let's say it's in front of like other people. For me, I have this, especially with my social anxiety. That's very lovely. You know, I'll tell myself, for example, they don't remember, or it didn't happen. It's something that like, and it's like mentally I know it happened, but it's just something that like, you know. So counting, saying stuff in your head, replacing a bad thought with a good thought, and there's more than I can name. You probably don't even know that you're doing it, or know that it's a compulsion, but it is. Another thing, I don't think they mention it in this book. Another thing, hold on, sorry. I'm going to go back to mental rituals. I actually have some examples here. Thinking special words, sayings, images, or phrases to neutralize obsessions and anxiety. Saying prayers over and over in your head a certain numbers of times or in a special way. Constantly repeating lists. For example, to-do lists to yourself. Reviewing other matters, conversations, activities over and over in your mind or until it's perfectly done. Trying to stop or suppress unwanted thoughts. Spending excessive time trying to rationalize or think through or figure out an obsessional situation or thought. For example, could this really be true? Ask yourself, is this an intentional thought that reduces my anxiety? If so, it's a mental ritual. Or is this an unwanted thought that provokes my anxiety? If so, it's an obsession. Okay. And Another thing they have here is reassurance seeking rituals. Do you think God loves me? Are you sure the iron is off? What are the chances I will get sick? Will they act on my thoughts of harming someone? Am I a pervert if I think about sex too much? And those are questions that are normally not just asked once, but they're asked multiple times. Yeah. This says right here, asking people the same types of questions over and over, looking at information on the internet excessively, reading books, labels, or other sources of information about your obsessive fears, excessively watching other people to see what happens before you do something similar, having someone else be with you as a form of reassurance, for example, while driving, and apologizing for or confessing to the same thing or thought over and over. Another thing that accompanies me with my OCD is tics. I don't think I have Tourette's syndrome or any tic disorder. As far as I know, my tics are more related to my OCD. And the tics that I have, thank God I don't have them as often as I used to, but these tics included when I would get a thought, I would sometimes say cuss words. It didn't really matter who was around me. I would just blurt them out. And it just was something that I couldn't really control, but I could kind of control. And it's really hard to explain, but I would, you know, sometimes I'm here just in my house by myself, and I'll say cuss words whenever I get a thought, like, as a form of like a compulsion. And when I don't say it, it's like this overwhelming anxiety builds up physiologically, and it's just so uncomfortable. Also, I have, so those I guess are considered vocal tics. But I also do say I do say phrases like, sometimes I say the phrase "help me," like when I have thoughts, like really bad thoughts. I'll be like, "Help me," and my dad will be like, "Did you just say help me?" And I'm like, "Just ignore it." And so I have like different phrases I may say to myself every time I get like a certain thought. Also, I have tics that one may consider to be more like motor tics, but I had this one like for the longest. When I would get like certain thoughts, or when I was trying to figure something out, I would like jump up and down. It was really weird, really weird. I don't even know how to describe it, but like I would jump up and down for like 3 seconds and it would help. I don't know how to describe it, because it's not like I'm just jumping up and down, but I'm also doing something mentally ritualistic, I'm sure. So that's that. And so I plan to do more videos discussing with this workbook, because this seems like a really good workbook that could help a lot of people, and I hope this video helped you. Sorry if it was rather long, but I hope it helped you. I shared a little bit of my obsessions and my compulsions, and maybe you have similar ones. If you do, comment below. If you don't, please still comment below. I'm going to hear about your OCD or your side of it, and just being able to relate to my audience more. So, or if you didn't know this much about OCD, or something surprised you, or you know, you maybe thought OCD was just doing certain things, or maybe you thought OCD was all about cleaning and it surprised you, just let me down below, because we're all a community here and keep talking about mental health. So I appreciate you tuning into this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Have a blessed day. Bye everyone.